Bangladesh have just beaten Pakistan in a bilateral ODI series, and the decider in Mirpur produced what was honestly one of the best one-day international matches I've seen in a long, long time. It had everything: a tricky pitch, a big chase, a couple of superb centuries, a dramatic final over, and unfortunately for Pakistan fans, it also had a very familiar ending because Bangladesh won the match and with it the series. And that means Bangladesh have now beaten Pakistan in 2 consecutive bilateral ODI series for the first time in more than a decade. Now, on paper, if you looked at the scoreboard, this looked like a modern one-day international. But in reality, this game felt almost old-fashioned. Runs were hard to come by. Batters struggled for large phases of the game. The pitch in Mirpur was awkward all day. When the bowlers slowed the ball down, the ball even turned. When they pushed it through quicker, it bounced. It was one of those surfaces where very few batters ever looked fully comfortable. And that's why 2 innings stood out above everything else. So for Bangladesh, it was Tanzeed Hassan, outstanding. For Pakistan, it was Salman Ali Agha, also outstanding, although eventually just not enough to get Pakistan over the line. Everyone else mostly struggled. Let's focus on the chase for now. Pakistan was set 291 to win on a difficult Mirpur surface. That was always going to be a serious challenge. And Bangladesh came out absolutely flying with the ball. Taskin Ahmed, just sensational. Early doors, removing Sahibzada Farhan in the very first over of the power play. Then a couple of overs later, he struck again. Gets rid of Rizwan. Right in between those wickets, Pakistan lost another one when Maz Sadakat edged Naheed Rana. So very quickly, Pakistan were in serious trouble. It was a big chase. It felt improbable. It felt like Pakistan were in trouble. 3 wickets down early, scoreboard pressure, and Bangladesh completely on top. The situation became even worse when Pakistan slipped to 67 for 4, chasing 291, I'll remind you, on a pitch where timing the ball was clearly not easy. And at that point, I think a lot of people were like, all right, well, the game's gone, series gone, no point watching this. We know what's going to happen. But then Pakistan found a little bit of resistance. 2 younger players at the crease. Ghazi Ghori making his debut, and Abdul Samad playing just a second one-day international. To their credit, they fought. They didn't dominate the bowling. They didn't play spectacular shots, but they did exactly what Pakistan needed in that moment. They absorbed some pressure. They poked and prodded and rotated the strike when they could. Very, very slowly put together a 50-run partnership in 66 balls. So it wasn't pretty or breathtaking. It was kind of nervy. There were multiple run-out chances, lots of yes-no calls. And at one point, there were 4 different run-out opportunities for Bangladesh during that stand. But somehow, Pakistan survived. And that partnership kept the chase alive. But the moment the match really changed was when Salman Ali Agha arrived at the crease. Because, up until then, Pakistan were just treading water. Everyone else struggled on that surface, other than Tanzeed, as we mentioned. Agha looked different. He played with composure. He picked his moments. He judged the pitch better than almost anyone else, other than, as I say, Tanzeed. And suddenly, Pakistan had belief again. Like, you could really see the experience of the player in the performance that he put forth. He was spectacular. What looked like a one-way contest started turning into a genuine chase. Meanwhile, Bangladesh, they kept applying pressure. Their bowlers kept mixing pace, using the surface cleverly. And every time Pakistan threatened to build any real momentum, Bangladesh found a way to just slow things down again. Which is why the match eventually went right down to the final over. Salman Ali Agha's resistance came to an end. He played a magnificent innings. I'm sure he won't be celebrating it because he couldn't get Pakistan over the line. It came down to 14 runs needed off the last over. Just 1 wicket left. Shaheen Afridi on strike. Rishad Hussain with the ball. And his last over, honestly, again, it was so dramatic. It had everything. On the second ball, Afridi hit the ball high in the air. Simple chance. Rishad Hussain ran back, got underneath it, and dropped it. Felt like a huge moment. A chance to close out the game. Gone. Suddenly, Pakistan were alive. The drama continued with 12 balls needed off 2 balls. The umpire signalled a wide. Bangladesh immediately reviewed it. And you might think, well, you can't review wides. You can't review wides, but you can review for an out. You can review wides in IPL and some other leagues, but you can't in international cricket. But the effect was that the wide was taken away. The decision was reversed. And it was another huge moment. Suddenly it came down to 12 runs needed from the final ball. Afridi charged down the pitch, swung hard, completely missed. The ball went through to Litan Das. And for a moment, it looked like even he forgot to break the stumps. For Bangladesh, they completed the dismissal, and with that, the match was done. Bangladesh won. The series is theirs, and it was a huge result for Bangladesh. Very, very important result, because Bangladesh is still currently in a period where every ODI series matters significantly. They were isolated from this year's T20 World Cup, and looking ahead, they're now focused on rebuilding momentum and securing qualification for the next ODI World Cup, which isn't a done deal yet. So series wins like this really matter. They're very important, particularly against a major opposition like Pakistan. For Pakistan, though, it's another frustrating result. There were positives. Yeah, there were positives. Salman Ali Agha's innings. Amazing composure under pressure. Younger players like Ghazi Gori, Abdul Samad, Maz Sadakat in previous games showed a fight in a difficult situation. But once again, Pakistan's biggest problem appeared at the very start of the innings. Early wickets, scoreboard pressure, and then chasing the game for the rest of the match. When you're chasing nearly 300 on a difficult Mirpur pitch, it's always going to be an uphill task. It was a difficult task. They couldn't do it. Credit where it's due. Bangladesh bowled superbly. Taskin Ahmed set the tone early. Just superb, taking 4 wickets. Their spinners and seamers used the surface intelligently. And Bangladesh held their nerve just enough in the chaotic final moments to make sure they closed out the match. Bangladesh win the match. They win the series. And Pakistan, once again, are left thinking about what might have been. But there are still signs of hope. Because even in defeat, performances like Salman Ali Agha's show that there are players in this team capable of fighting under pressure. It's been the Achilles heel of this Pakistan team, performing under pressure. So an innings like that is still very heartening. Now the challenge for Pakistan is simple. Turn these isolated performances into consistent team performances, because talent has never really been an issue for Pakistan. Execution and management often has. Bangladesh showed in Mirpur exactly how to do it. Congratulations again to Bangladesh. Pakistan, let's see what you got next after the PSL. That's my thoughts on the game and the series. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, please do remember to give it a thumbs up. If you've got any thoughts, please do leave them in the comments. And I'll see you soon.